Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about this little conundrum that has been coming up a lot in the League of Legends Reddit and League of Legends forums and all of these complaints about the new Nidalee Trap. And I want to kind of clear this up with a little League of Math video again. And today's video is going to be about the interaction between current health damage and damage over time and how those affect each other and how it can kind of inflate your idea of how much damage an ability is going to do. So let's go ahead and look at just the new Nidalee Trap itself. This is the base stats, right? This is how you calculate your damage on the Nidalee Trap. And let's say you have 500 AP, 2000 health target. You're going to say you deal 700 damage over 4 seconds. And this is an extremely common example that people are throwing out in the forums. They're saying, this is what's going to happen. You're going to deal 700 damage over 4 seconds. This is not a good estimate for how much damage Nidalee is going to do. And let's walk through why. So damage over time abilities occur in ticks or intervals. So this amount of damage, like this whole burst, isn't really a burst. It's going to happen over 4 seconds. For the case of Nidalee's Trap, I believe it's 4 ticks over 4 seconds. So it's going to occur 4 separate times. So what you can do is you can actually separate this into 25 plus 5% plus 0.25% per 50 AP over for each tick. That's exactly the same thing. This is the exact same statement as above. However, when you're calculating the math here, it's slightly different because you're not going to come up with 700 damage over 4 seconds because your current health is changing. So let's go ahead and look at the first example here. And I've done these on another sheet. If you want to walk through these yourself, you can. But let's look at the 2000 health target example. Let's ignore all magic resist. Let's assume this person has literally 0 magic resist. They've picked a champion that is worse than Urgot, and they're just fucked. And you have 500 AP because you're fed as fuck. So 2k HP is their starting thing. This is the best case scenario for you. Gets a 2000 health point target, and on this tick calculation here, this 25, like each tick ticks 4 times, you're going to do minus 25, minus 5%. Let's just say you have 500 AP. Let's just put this in there. So it's going to be minus 7.5% of current HP, right? Hopefully that makes sense. So once you've done that, if you want to follow through the math, you can just pause it and do it right now. But you're going to end up with 1,825 health after that happens. So that's after the first tick. You're going to say, okay, if that keeps happening, you're losing 175 health each tick. That means it's going to add up to 750. This is where it gets incorrect. And hopefully you're starting to notice this. So that's minus 175 damage first tick. Second tick, your current health is now 1825. And same exact thing, minus 75%. But now you're going to result in 1663 after second tick. And this means you've lost 162, or you've taken 162 damage. You're going to say, you've only lost 10 damage. It's still essentially the same thing, 700 damage over 4 seconds. But wait, it gets worse. It's never going to reach 700 damage. And hopefully you can start to see why if you're familiar with math. If you're not, just keep following through the video. You can fast forward. And the third one, you have 1663 minus yada yada equals 1513. And that was 150 damage. Third tick. Okay, now stop right here and let's just take a look. How much damage have we done total? Let's pull up a calculator here. Let's do 150 plus 162 plus 175. Over the first 3 ticks, you've done 487. That means that on this last tick, in order to reach that 700 damage over 4 seconds, you're going to have to do 213 damage. Now following this trend, that doesn't seem like that's going to happen. But let's just, for the sake of calculations, let's go ahead and do it. So 1513 minus that whole shebang, you'll end up with 1374 health in the end here. And so you've lost 139, or you've taken 139 damage on the 4th tick. Okay, you know, 1374, that looks pretty close to 700 damage. Let's go ahead and take a look at what people are predicting would happen with this previous estimation of just plugging in the numbers and saying it's 700 damage over 4 seconds. 2k minus 700 damage equals 1300. I hope you are able to do math at an elementary level. Is that elementary? I feel like it is. I feel like algebra started to hit around, or pre-algebra started to hit around middle school. But regardless, that's the estimation of how much health you would have left by a lot of the forums and all these theory crafting things and complaints about the Nidalee Trap. Now, after this 700 DoT, so I should specify that this is flat damage. It's actually going to be 1374. So you're going to say it's 74 damage. It's not significantly different. What's 74 over 700? What percentage is that? That's more than 10%. That's pretty significant. You can't just say, you know, I was within 10% margin of error. The amount of damage that it's actually going to do in the worst case scenario is 626 damage. And this is when the person has full health when they step on your trap. They have no magic resist. That's pretty much the only cases that they need it. They have 2,000 health. The Nidalee has 500 AP. Like the worst case scenario for a 2,000 health target is they're going to take 626 damage. Yeah, it's a lot of damage, but again, this is not factoring in magic resist. This is not factoring in anything other than just this ability alone. And so I say, you know what? I can forgive you guys for this slight misstep, saying 700 damage over 4 seconds. You know, it's really 626. You're 10% off. You've inflated it a little too much, but that's okay. We'll move on. But then let's factor in the magic resist, and let's do a higher health target, because I know a lot of people are going to say, well, what about the targets with 3,000 health? So let's say 3,000 health, right? Just 3k HP. Minus 25, minus 7.5%. It's going to be higher, right? What's 7.5% of 3k? All these should be inflating by a little bit more than 50%, or a little bit less than 50%. So 7.5 times 3, 225. So you're losing a little bit more health for each of these. I'd say that's pretty decent. It's a pretty decent amount of health loss there. Overall, you'll lose 250 on this tick. But have you ever seen a target with 3,000 health and have 42 magic resist, or have no magic resist? And the answer for me personally is no. If I have, it's been in very, very low elo, and I feel as though I could carry with AD and Nivea or something. Like, I feel as though it would not matter what champion I played, I could win regardless. So this is the case where you can't say higher health means more damage, because higher health is heavily correlated with more magic resist, and with the fact that they removed the magic resist shred from her trap, that magic resist is now going to impact your damage significantly. So I hope this video wasn't too long-winded. I hope I explained this well, and I hope you understand it. If it doesn't make sense, please let me know, and I'll try to make another one in the short meantime, so you can understand it more easily. But hopefully this clears some of the confusion up with this damage over time nonsense, and why you need to be careful on how you predict damage from Nidalee. And remember, this is worst case scenario, and honestly I don't see this as being all that scary. This is the amount of damage. A 500 AP Ziggs, one bomb would do this to you. Like, there are so many worse abilities that you could hit. So honestly, I don't think her trap is something to be that concerned about. I think people are overreacting to the numbers right now, and when they get in game, they're not going to notice it being that huge an impact. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and just close the video out, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.